Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we got some exciting news to talk about with the design studio over at Stellantis. There's a big shakeup with both the European and North American design teams, and it's going to be very, very different going forward. What they're doing is they're hiring new people in to replace kind of Ralph Gilles' position. Now Ralph isn't leaving. He's actually kind of elaborating on a new kind of look at his position directly. But what they're doing is they're adding in a new head of design for Europe and a new head of design for North America. Because, again, North Americans want things differently than the Europeans. Europeans want things differently than the North Americans. So basically, Antonio Filosa is really big into making sure that the regions kind of do their own thing. And we're starting to see that with this new way of design going forward. So basically, Ralph will still be the chief design officer, and him and Antonio Filosa, who's the new CEO, who's also the COO for North America still, have basically come up with a new kind of way that the Stellantis design team and how they're managed is going forward. So if you've been reading Mopar Insiders for like the last probably week, you've probably been seeing details of stuff being dropped and changes already being implemented. And the first thing we seen was that they hired Gilles Vidal to basically be the head of European design. Now, if you don't know who Gilles Vidal is, Gilles basically was with the company for 25 years. He basically left a few years ago to go to Renault, but he was at Stellantis and PSA for a number of years. He really pushed the design for Peugeot and Citroën especially. And the very interesting thing is the designs that you see on the roads today were inspired by his design work back when he was with the company. So he really is known for pushing the boundaries of design, especially like with the European brands. And now he's going to be in charge of DS, Lancia, Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Peugeot, Citroën, all the brands in Europe. And it's going to be very interesting because what they're doing, and I'll talk about it in a little bit, is again, they're trying to get back to basics and make sure that the brands kind of focus on their regions. And again, if you go on Mopar Insiders, I put a couple videos on here with Gilles Vidal talking. So this is an older video when he was at Peugeot talking about the E-Legend, the concept car that they built. It's very interesting listening to him talk because, again, he's won a number of awards. He's really pushed the boundaries for design with Peugeot and Citroën. And now he's going to have kind of reign over all the European brands. And he's not going to report to Ralph Gilles directly. This is where it's going to change. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But he's going to basically be reporting directly to the COO for Enlarged Europe, which is Jean-Philippe Imparo. So basically now what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so the COOs have more of a say. There's not all this like, hey, we're going to have board member talks. They're trying to cut the process down to get design, basically feedback from the customers better and the design teams to actually do product that the people want. So again, this is like the brainchild of Ralph Gilles and Antonio Filosa. So it's going to be a whole different kind of direction moving forward. But if you go on Mopar Insiders, you can see Gilles Vidal's whole thing. There's a video of a vehicle they worked over at Renault on here. So you can kind of see how, his philosophy is moving forward. So it's a lot different than what we're used to on how the design teams have worked in the past. Now, yesterday, if you follow Mopar Insiders, you probably noticed that Scott Krugger has been named North American Design Chief. Basically, he is reporting to Antonio Filosa directly because Antonio is the COO for North America. And Ralph Gilles handpicked him, and Scott's had a great career with the company. He's kind of had his hands in a little bit of everything here in North America, and then for a while he went over to Europe and ran the Alfa Romeo studio and the Jeep studio over there. He was very instrumental in the 2019 Jeep Renegade. He was also instrumental in the Tonale. But the thing is Scott has been with the company since 2001. He's basically, worked on vehicles like the PT Cruiser, the Dodge Challenger, the Dodge Charger, the new generation Dodge Charger's his brainchild, the Daytona and the new six-pack cars, as well as like the Ram 1500 and Chrysler Pacifica and various concepts. But he's best known for being the creator of the Gen 5 Dodge Viper. So that very sleek Gen 5 Dodge Viper that we got was all designed by Scott. is the exterior. So here's Scott right here at the Connor Avenue plant, right when they rolled off the first one. You can see Ralph Gilles back here, and even Sergio Marchionne. But you can see right here, there's Scott right up front, and this is his baby. So this is what he was known for, is these kind of Dodge, like very sleek, very sporty, kind of pushing the boundaries of design. Because again, you know, Dodge and Chrysler and Jeep and Ram really need to get out of the whole you know, kind of modest design and kind of push the boundaries just a little bit to kind of shake things up. Now, what's very interesting is, again, we talked about Ralph Gilles, okay? And again, he's still going to be the chief design officer, but he's going to focus more on global strategy and innovation. So while these new design leaders like Krugger and Vidal, they're going to manage the regional execution with a focus on meeting local customer taste and expectations. And that's exactly what Ralph wants. So basically what Ralph said about the position of Scott Krugger, being the head of design for North America, he said Scott's appointment in North America and Gilles' arrival in Europe are key to our new design organization and our plans to bring inspiring and exciting products to the North American and European markets, giving customers an even greater freedom of choice. With Scott's immense design talent and proven leadership in North America and Gilles' award-winning track record in Europe, we are opening a new chapter of creative excellence with the rollout of our organization. So basically, it's a little different than what, has been in the past. And what they're doing is they're cutting out the fat. They're making sure that, they have people that know what the regions want, that know the brands, and they're going to try to push boundaries with design. So it's significant because you're basically balancing global vision with local execution. So basically, we know Stellantis oversees 14 vehicle brands globally, and it's basically going to allow for regional design teams to kind of retain creative autonomy. So basically a move that should help Dodge stay bold, Jeep remain like a rugged off-road brand, and basically Ram keeping its edge, and Chrysler hopefully finding its future voice. So again, there's a lot of things going forward with the brands. It'll be very interesting to see the direction moving forward, but it looks to be all positive. So again, we've seen Dodge, they got the new Charger out. There's more vehicles coming in the lineup for Chrysler. We've seen that, the Jeep is kind of pushing the boundaries with the new Jeep Compass, and that hopefully that will be here soon. We're also seeing that Ram's, going to launch a mid-size pickup truck. So there's all these things in the works that are coming. So it's going to be very interesting to see the tone that Scott Krugger specifically puts forward, but also where Gilles Vidal is going to go forward with Europe. So it's kind of, like I said, eliminating the fat in the design studio so these guys can execute product better for their actual regions. So that's a good thing. We want Americanized vehicles here. We don't want, badge engineered vehicles from Europe just coming here and pretending to be North American vehicles. So this is the very first step to eliminate that kind of process going forward. So with that being said, let me know what you think about the appointment of Scott Krugger and Gilles Vidal. Do you think this whole kind of regional kind of design and having the ability to work more on the regions rather than a global synergy is beneficial for Stellantis? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.